Okay, this is our first project in Illustrator. I want you to open up Adobe Illustrator CS4. Once you get in here, just like Photoshop, please go to Window, Workspace, and Essentials so all the items snap back where they should be. You can hit the double arrow here on the right corner to open up the panels. You can do the same thing here on the toolbar, just like Photoshop. We're going to go to File, we're going to go to New. Once we go there, we're going to make sure it's a letter size page, which is 8.5 inches by 11 inches, and we're going to keep it vertical, and we're going to say OK. Before we do that though, just name it. So name it your name. In this case I'm going to name it my name, and we're going to write character or cartoon character with your name first. Okay, so once this opens up, I want you to go over to your toolbar. I want you to click, hold, and drag so you get the little tear off button here. Pull that out and do the same thing for this set of tools where the line segment tool is. Click and pull the tear off bar there so you get that out. Alright, first thing we're going to do is select the rectangle tool. With the rectangle tool, for all of your tools, there is a fill color up at the top, and there is also a stroke color. So for right now, I'm just going to click, drag, and create a rectangle like that. Yours can be a little bit bigger, a little bit smaller. As long as it's pretty close, we're fine. Now, you can see there's a blue line around it, which means it's still selected. At any point, you can take the black arrow, you can click away from an object, or you can click right on an object. You can also click and drag to select an object. Once you're there, you can go up to the top, change the fill color. I'm going to change it to green right now. And I want you to have any color box. I don't care what color you have. And mine, just so you can see, it's the same thing as Photoshop, Command plus, Command minus, Command 0 to fit it on your page. You can see that mine right here is just a green square with a black stroke around the edge. Okay, I'm going to do Command 0. Come out for a second. Then I'm going to take the ellipse tool here. Now, if you hold shift as you pull, you will get a perfect circle. If you let go, you get more of an oval shape. So I'm going to hold shift to get a perfect circle. I'm going to give this a different color and give it a light color like that. Now what I want to do is take these two and line them up perfectly. Notice if I take the black arrow and I move this one, you can move any piece at any time. You can also pull to make it squishier or fatter, right? So I'm going to go back to where it was. Done. You can also undo multiple times. It's a little different than Photoshop. You can do Command Z a whole bunch of times. So let's imagine that you just put it here or here or here, right? If we want to line them up, we select both pieces by clicking and dragging with the black arrow, and then you'll notice at the top here you have your little alignment tool. So this is horizontally aligning to the center, and if you hit it, you see they kind of snap together. I'm going to then click, hold shift, and just pull up a little bit so there's a little bit of room, just like that. Then I'm going to use the rounded rectangle tool here, and I'm going to click and drag. Now you'll notice that the edges are curved. If you hit the down arrow and hold the down arrow, the edges will begin to get sharper and sharper. If you hold the up arrow while you're pulling, the edges get rounder and rounder. So I'm going to get a pretty rounded edge one, and this is going to be the neck. And I'm going to leave it right about there is good. Now what I want to do is take the black arrow now, hold shift, and select both pieces that are this color. Right? You can click one, hold shift, and then grab the other. And then I want to unify these two pieces together. So to do that, you're going to go to Window, Pathfinder, and you're going to hit the Unite button here. You see it becomes one piece. Then I'm going to click on the box, just move the box and hold shift and move it down just a little bit so it looks like it's possibly the neck. And I'm going to zoom in a little bit here so you can see better. I'm going to take that ellipse tool one more time, click on the ellipse tool, hold shift, we're going to create an eyeball. I'm going to give this a white fill, and then I'm going to go right to the center. I'm going to click, hold Option and Shift at the same time, and pull out. So I'm going to go back to the middle, I let go of the buttons, I click, hold the mouse, and then Option and Shift, click and pull, just like that. Then I'm going to do one more circle like that while holding shift, a smaller circle inside. If you want, you could even do two with one just a tiny bit smaller. Then what I'd like you to do is start to color these. So the middle one, you can do a fill of black. This outside one, you can do a fill of, let's say, blue. And on the far one, I would keep white. Okay, so we got all those pieces, right? We're going to select the outside edge of this one, hold Option on our keyboard, and then click and drag. So we have a big version, we have the same version as the big outside one. We're going to then click with the black arrow to select that big one that we just copied. We're going to use the eraser tool, click on the eraser tool, and you see the size of it. Now you can use the bracket keys to make it bigger or smaller. And then click, and you'll see it erases but gives you a new shape. We are then going to go to the line segment tool here. Now hold Command and just click away, or click the black arrow and click away so nothing is selected right now. Take the line segment tool, we're going to give it no fill up at the top. I'll keep the stroke black, and I'm just going to get a couple of eyelashes that kind of, excuse me, sorry, oops, that kind of poke out of here. If you missed a step, just go back and watch it again, the one step that you missed. So I'm just going to throw these in here like this, and then what I want to do, that one's a little bit off, is I want to take this whole group, so I'm going to take the black arrow, click, drag, select the entire thing, click, drag, move it up on top of the eye, right where it would have gone, just like that. And I'm going to right click and arrange it to the front. You see it kind of comes in front of the whole thing? I'm then going to grab that big little like moon piece, right? I'm going to make it the same color as the head. To do that, you can take the eyedropper tool, and with this selected, you just click right on the head, and it makes it the same color. Then we're going to take the black arrow, we're going to click, drag around the entire piece, right click, and group, or you can do Command G on your keyboard. Now once you've done that, you're going to move it over onto the screen, onto the head, I'm sorry, and then we're going to actually hold Option again. This way we can make 2 eyeballs, just like that. Then we're going to go to the rounded rectangle tool like we did before. We're going to create a mouth. So the rounded rectangle, and again you can hold the up arrow to get it rounder, or the down arrow to get it less round on the edges. Now once we've done that, let's give that a little like dark red interior, or you could even double click the color here and get it even darker if you'd like, that's fine. Then we're going to do Command click away, so nothing is selected. Now I'm going to go to the grid tool here. Now with the grid tool, I'm going to change the fill to a white. And if you double click the grid tool, you'll see all of these options that come up, the number of horizontal dividers and the number of vertical dividers. So we could keep vertical at 5, maybe horizontal we'll keep at just 2. Now you can skew them to the left or to the right, that's up to you, but I'm going to just leave them as is and hit OK. And then I'm going to go into here, kind of intersect with that top line, click and pull down, and you see I get these little like chiclet teeth, right? And if I give them a fill, they get a little fill like that. So it's up to you. You can mess with those numbers on that to get what you'd like. Then we're going to step over to the arc tool right here. And again, make sure you're not selected on anything. So I'm going to hit Command and click away. I'm going to go to the arc tool. We're going to go to no fill. And we're going to do a black stroke. And I'm going to just click and pull till I get an eyebrow. Now, with it still selected, you'll see up here, there are different kinds of lines. So you can get different ones that, you can try them all out and see what they are. And there's extra ones here if you go to brush libraries, and there's different kinds that you can install. So you get a whole bunch of different crazy ones. To do it on the other side, in the opposite direction, just hold Option on your keyboard, and now you can pull in the opposite direction. You can hold Command and move it over. Whenever you have the black arrow and you're clicked on something, you could always rotate it. You could always stretch it and make it bigger. You really put it wherever you want. And then I'm going to change that stroke to that again. Alright, now we need a little nose in here. So we're going to use the line segment tool. Remember, I clicked Command to click away from it. I'm going to grab the line segment tool. And you have a few options here. I'm going to go back up to the regular line, like this one. And we can do like a straight line where you just click and drag to create a line like that. You can do ones that are more realistic of like a nose, where you kind of go click and pull, click and pull, click and pull, depending on how far you want it to go. Click and pull. Get a little bit more of a nose kind of going there. You can also do ones where you just use a few circles. So you just go kind of click and pull, You can also copy one if you like it. You can copy it over to here. And then you can fill each one with whatever color you'd like. So maybe this just becomes, a dark interior. Got the idea for a nose. And then you can still take, if I'm going to click Command and click away, you can still use that line segment tool. I'm going to give it no fill, and you can just kind of connect these two. Click, drag, connect. Just like that. If you want to get crazy, you can take a little ellipse tool here. You can change the color of it. And I'm just going to kind of click and drag almost to create like a little nose ring out of it. Whenever you click on this piece right here, let's say you want to make it really look like it's in the nose, you can take the eraser tool, but watch what happens. If you take the eraser, I'm going to make the eraser smaller, and I'm just going to cut like right here. See, it kind of dips in instead of creating a new line. So instead what you can do is you can take the white arrow, and this is getting a little advanced here, but I'm going to click away for a moment and then click right on the line, and you see there's a white dot and a white dot. If I click right on this line and hit delete, kind of looks like that. And then I can move the entire thing over like this. Then I can take the black arrow. It's getting a little bit advanced. Ask me for help on this if you need. And then we'll take the this little line here, just this one dot, and we'll just move that kind of up and out like that, so it looks like it's a little bit kind of in the head. Also, what we did is we take the rectangle tool, we create a rectangle here on this side. We're going to fill it with like a different color than what the shirt is. Then we're going to take the black arrow, copy that, hold Option, move it over. Then we're going to select both pieces plus the shirt, and we're going to hit the minus the front button here in the Pathfinder. Okay, and then we use the stars. Now the stars work the same way as the circle. If you click and pull and you hit the up arrow, you're going to get more dots. If you hit the down arrow, you get less dots. So I just wanted you to kind of fill the shirt with a few different colors of stars and a few different sizes of these stars. Looks pretty good right now. I am going to take the black arrow. I'm going to select the entire shirt and the stars. But you see it also grabbed the head because the head was behind it. So I'm going to hold Command and click the head. Let's just do it this way. Hold Shift, grab the stars, and then grab the shirt. So all three pieces, I'm just going to move them down a little bit. Okay. And then I'm going to right click on this and arrange it and send it to the back. Alright, very good. Then what we want to do is start creating the hair. So we're going to take a rectangle, I'm going to go right up to the head, right about the bottom of the eyes. I'm going to click and drag and create a box. Now once we've created the box, you can color this any color you want. I'm going to make it yellow so you guys can see. I'm going to right click, arrange, and send to back. So now it's behind the head. Now from here you could take the black arrow, you could squish it and make it thinner, almost like a mohawk kind of a thing, or you can keep it wide. We're also going to then take the Ellipse Tool, we're going to click, hold, Shift, and create a bunch of circles. Now once we create a bunch of circles, they can all be different sizes, they don't all have to be the same. You can make a bunch that are really big, make some that are small, make a couple that just kind of pop out. And they can go onto the side of the head a little bit, although right where it hits like the edge, like where his ear would be, I'm going to keep it thin. Then I'm going to select all of those things. So because I made it a different color, I can just click one, go to Select, Same, Fill Color, and it grabs all of the head. Now you can leave it like that where you see the little black circles, or when you click it, select Same, Fill Color again so they all get selected. You can hit the Unify button here in the Pathfinder's panel, and they become all one. Now they pop in front of his face, but that's okay. Right click, arrange, send to back, just like that. Then what we're going to do is take the rounded rectangle tool. We're going to create a little spongy button there. I'm going to zoom in so you can see it better. Alright, and then you can either do it again or use the Polygonal Tool, and you can see as I pull here I have 6 sides. Remember, if you hit the up arrow you get more sides, if you hit the down arrow you get less sides. So I'm going to keep it right about there, and then I'm going to move this right over kind of onto here, and I'm going to right click and arrange and send to back. Okay, so we want the same thing on the other side. Now I'm going to make this actually a little bigger. I'm going to grab the whole thing, hold Shift, pull from the corner, make it a little bigger so he's got bigger. It's going to be an earphone. I'm going to pull it right there. Now we want to copy it to the other side and then flip it. So I'm going to take the black arrow, select both, hold Option, click, drag it over. After I drag it over, I want to flip it. To flip it, there's a tool here that says the Rotate tool, but in there, if you click and hold, you'll see the Reflect tool. If you click the Reflect tool, you can just hold Shift, click, and pull, and it'll flip it to the other side, just like that. Now with the black arrow, you're going to want to move it closer to the head, is fine. Get it as close as you'd like. And I'm going to do the same thing to this side. And in terms of the color, it's really up to you. You can click one piece at a time. You can give the colors really anything that you want it to be. You can make these, black or gray or whatever you'd really like is totally fine. It looks good. Now we want to make something that looks like it's going over his head. So I'm going to take the rectangle tool. I'm going to click and pull so I get a line that goes straight up. Right? And then I'm going to take the black arrow. I'm going to hold Option, click and pull, and drag it to the other side. So we got the same thing on both sides. Now we just have to make something that kind of connects these two pieces together. Right? So to do that, what we're going to do, a little different than before, but kind of similar to the top of the eyes. We're going to use the Ellipse tool here, and I'm going to start on this edge, and I'm going to click and drag kind of across, a little wider than both. Alright, so I'm just going to click and pull a little wider than both. Then I'm going to kind of pull this down a little bit like that. And then what I'd like to do is take the eraser tool again and just make the eraser bigger, only with that one piece selected. And we're just going to kind of click like that. Now you say that it might not be perfect, so we're going to take that white arrow, a little white direct selection tool, click away for a moment, and then what we can do is we kind of move the individual pieces around so that it looks a little bit more curved, the way that I'm sure you would hope that it would be. Right? You can move the line, you can move the handlebars. I'll get a little closer so you can see better. So I can move the individual dot around, I can move the handlebars around, I can move the line itself, I can pop this up or down depending on how big you want it to be. Okay, you can kind of see that there. Then what I'm going to do is take the black arrow, click that one gray piece, hold shift, grab the two side pieces while holding shift, and then hit the unite button, and they become one. Got it? Then these pieces, click, hold shift, click, hold shift, right click, and arrange those to the front. Okay, that's part one of your character so far. I know that's a lot of little pieces. I'm going to get another new video for the second part.